Hey everybody, it's Minius, and oh boy. I wasn't planning on doing a video here, so the visuals be short, but basically, I was a little bit surprised by the review numbers this morning. I beat the game yesterday and clearly enjoyed it more than the people from the big press sites. It's certainly not a perfect game though, and before I go much further, I should say that this video is spoiler free. For the record, I'd have scored it an 8.5. I'm usually pretty much in line with reviewers, but might have been influenced by the thousands of hours I poured into this channel. I feel pretty confident that if this game was a new IP, not a Mass Effect game, and probably more specifically, not a BioWare game, it would have scored better. But that's not really what this video is about. It's about its reviews in general, because the game does have a few issues. The complaints that I read about tend to be on the technical side, which didn't bother me nearly as much as the reviewers, though in several spots they do trip up the game. My main issue is the game's size. It's too big, and the content is too spread out. The trilogy was, for the most part, mission to mission. The combat was tightly packed, the story moved along at a solid pace, and the open world elements of this game interrupted things. The sheer amount of content slowed it down. 50 hours into the game, things can drag a little. Review copies went out late, and damn, pushing through this game on a deadline must have sucked. And I'm sure that influenced reviews a little bit. Oddly though, I think this openness of the game dragged hardest on the story. Streamlining this thing would have pumped it up a lot, and unfortunately, unlike the facial animations and technical issues, that cannot be patched. The second issue I wanted to touch on here is that I think they ended up holding back too much story-wise. I won't get into what here. I seriously doubt many of you finished the game, and it will make a great future video. I will touch, though, on the fact that this score, 75 out of 100, seems like a better score than it is. Video game review scores are stupid. You'll rarely see anything below a 55 out of 100. If this game was scored as a movie, these scores would translate to about a 2 out of 4 stars. Again, for the record, in this fictional universe, I'd have gone 3 out of 4 stars. The one point where these reviewers erred, in my opinion, is that they undervalued the game's combat. The combat in Mass Effect Andromeda is flat out phenomenal. It's probably the best in the history of action RPGs. It's better than Kingdoms of Amalur, which I was absolutely in love with, and it's better than... I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this. It's better than The Witcher 3, which is one of the best games of all time. Games are about fun, and this game is fun. The combat is a lot of fun, but there's a really good chance that that's not what people are looking for, and that's reflected in the scores. Last note before I go, and I'm sure some of you are thinking this, there is a chance that this is going to be the last Mass Effect game. Ideally, they'd want to make another now that all the assets are in place, but if the sales drop, the brand isn't in a strong enough place to continue. These games are just too expensive to make, and the Mass Effect 3 endings just did too much damage. I hope the game sells well. I'd like another. I'm sure DLC is on the way no matter what, and hopefully that can re-energize people, but I've never heard of a DLC story pack that re-energizes people. Anyway, I'm curious to see what you guys think once you played the game. I need to reiterate, I enjoyed the game a lot, but then I would, and I recommend this game, but then I would. The overall experience ends up being a cut or two below the trilogy. Let me know what you guys think once you get your hands on the game and finish it up, which is probably going to take a while, and I'll tackle this stuff in future videos. Try to keep spoilers out of the comments, please. And for now...
What, are you crazy? I'm nothing like you. I'm not a Spectre working for the Council.